The Galactic University of Xenobiology had seen thousands of species pass through its pristine corridors, but never a human. Not until Jake Morrison arrived. Dr. Veldar, a distinguished Krithian scientist with 4 eyes and crystalline skin, watched the young man stumble through the laboratory door, late as usual. The human carried what his species called coffee, a stimulant beverage that would be lethal to most galactic citizens. "Mr. Morrison, you're 40 cycles late," Veldar clicked in Universal Standard, his translator converting the sounds into English. "Sorry, document overslept again." Jake grinned sheepishly, running a hand through his disheveled brown hair. At 22 Earth years, he was the first human to receive a full scholarship to the prestigious institution, located on the neutral world of Nexus Prime. The class was Advanced Genetic Architecture, and today's lesson involved comparing the DNA structures of various sapient species. Veldar had been studying xenogenetics for 300 standard years, and he prided himself on his encyclopedic knowledge of the galaxy's biodiversity. "Today, we will analyze samples from each of you," Veldar announced. "A simple cheek swab for most species. Mr. Morrison, if you would volunteer to go first." Jake shrugged. "Sure, why not?" The sampling took seconds. Veldar inserted the swab into the genetic sequencer, expecting the typical carbon-based double helix structure that preliminary human studies had shown. The machine hummed, processing the data. Then it shrieked. Every student in the class jumped. The sequencer had never made that sound before. Error codes flooded the display in rapid succession, before the screen stabilized into a pattern that made Veldar's blood run cold. "Impossible," he whispered. "What? Did I break it?" Jake asked, concerned. Veldar's 4 eyes fixed on the human with an intensity that made Jake step back. "Mr. Morrison, I need you to remain calm. Your genetic structure, it contains architect markers." The classroom erupted in gasps and frantic whispers. Jake looked around, confused. "What's an architect?" Dr. Sarix, a Serpentine Theshan teaching assistant, slithered forward, her scales turning pale. "The architects are a legend, human. The progenitors. The species that seeded life across the galaxy 3 billion years ago, then vanished without a trace. Every sapient species in the known universe carries trace genetic markers from the architects," Veldar explained, his voice trembling. 1 or 2% at most. It's how we know they existed. But you. He gestured at the screen. You have 37% architect DNA. That's not just a trace. That's direct descent. Jake laughed nervously. That's crazy. Humans evolved on Earth. We've got the fossil records to prove it. Did you? Veldar challenged. Or did the architects plant you there, far from the galactic community, to develop in isolation? He began pacing, his crystalline surface refracting light in agitated patterns. It would explain so much. Why humans are so adaptable. Why your species can digest such a wide variety of organic compounds. Why you heal so remarkably fast compared to your apparent evolutionary peers. Sarix accessed a datapad, her scaled fingers moving frantically. The timeline matches. Humans appeared suddenly in Earth's fossil record, with significant genetic leaps that confused your own scientists. You called them missing links. This has to be a mistake, Jake insisted, but his voice wavered. Veldar ran the test again. Then a third time. Each result was identical. News spread through the university like wildfire. By evening, Jake found himself in a secure conference room, facing a council of the galaxy's most respected xenobiologists. They had conducted every test imaginable. Blood work, bone marrow analysis, neural mapping. Every result pointed to the same impossible conclusion. Professor Theron, an ancient Valdorian whose species had been spacefaring for 50,000 years, addressed the council. We have searched for 3 billion years for evidence of what became of the architects. We found ruins on dead worlds, mathematical proofs embedded in the cosmic microwave background, and genetic fragments in all of us. But never a living descendant. He turned his weathered gaze to Jake. Until now. What does this mean for me? Jake asked quietly. It means, young human, that you may hold answers to the greatest mystery in galactic history, Theron replied. Why did the architects leave? Where did they go? And most importantly, why did they hide one of their bloodlines on a remote world, disguised as a native species? Dr. Veldar pulled up a star chart. We've identified 17 worlds with architect ruins that have never been fully accessed. They require genetic verification to enter, verification that no living species could provide. He looked at Jake meaningfully. Until now. You want me to open them, Jake realized. We want to offer you a choice, Theron corrected. You can return to Earth, live your life as you would have. Or you can help us unlock secrets that have been sealed since before most of our civilizations existed. Jake thought about his normal life, community college in Ohio, weekend barbecues, football games. Then he looked at the star chart, at worlds marked with ancient symbols, at mysteries that spanned billions of years. He thought about his mom, who had always told him he was special, that he was meant for something more. She died never knowing how right she was. When do we start? Jake asked. Veldar's crystalline face formed what might have been a smile. As soon as you're ready, Mr. Morrison. The galaxy has waited 3 billion years. It can wait a few more days. As Jake left the conference room, he paused at a window overlooking Nexus Prime's glittering skyline. Somewhere out there were answers about who he was, who his species really was. The architects hadn't vanished, they'd just been waiting. And somehow, impossibly, Jake Morrison from Cleveland, Ohio, was the key to finding them. The stars had never looked so inviting, or so terrifying.